Thanksgiving is coming up super quick here for us Americans. I've always really liked Thanksgiving. It doesn't get a lot of credit, I feel like, because it's the weird middle child between Halloween and Christmas. It doesn't quite match the vibe of either of those. But that doesn't mean it doesn't have a vibe. There's definitely a Thanksgiving vibe that I really like, By now, most of the leaves here have kind of fallen, so you don't really get that fall feeling anymore, but it's still kind of there. You still got some colors. There's football, the Thanksgiving Day parade, Black Friday, I'll never forget. It's kind of a tradition to buy old newspapers and magazines wherever you can get them. It's very hard to find those, but I'd put them all out on the floor when I was a kid and I'd look for the best deals. And, I usually didn't buy anything, but there was just something fun about that commercialism, I guess. I get caught up in it. It almost is a opening to Christmas and the Christmas season. Of course, there's the food. And to be honest, I don't even like most Thanksgiving food, but I am a big fan of turkey, rolls, and pie. So I just load my plate with that stuff. And it's always really good. A lot of people associate Christmas with family and being together. But for me, I feel like I usually traveled or people traveled to my house on Thanksgiving. That was kind of our season to get together. And Christmas we kind of always spent to ourselves, and that's kind of the way we like it. But with Thanksgiving, we were always with a lot of people. It was kind of a tradition every year. Thanksgiving was an excuse for us to get together. And of course, the season is a great time to reflect on what we're grateful for and what we have. But I've really been reflecting lately on the things I'm grateful for, and not just because of the season, but more because it's been a tough year for me in a lot of ways. I'm looking to find the joy in it, I think I could be a little bit more grateful. I'm grateful for a lot of things this year. I moved into my own place, something I've been wanting to do for a very long time. I started my own business just over a year ago, last October, and it's been doing okay. I just closed the biggest deal I've ever done, and I'm quite proud of it. In a way, it's the culmination of all my hard work and efforts up to this point. I'm grateful for where I live. I love my environment. I live in a place with beautiful weather and a lot of trees and mountains. That's something I don't really take for granted. I love nature and the outdoors, so I'm grateful for myself. I know that sounds vain and self-indulgent, but I really am glad that I am who I am. I'm far from perfect, and I know that better than anyone. I beat myself up enough to make up for anyone else that wanted to, believe me. But I'm grateful for the man I'm becoming. I'm grateful for my passions, my gifts, my talents. I have a lot of drive and a lot of ambition, and I'm glad for that. I get excited about things, art, sports, movies, music, all that shit. Life isn't boring much lately, for better or worse. But this year, I'm most grateful for the people in my life. First and foremost, that's my girlfriend. I don't talk about her much on here, and that's intentional. I want to keep her to myself, and I respect her privacy, and I don't want to put her out there in case it makes her feel uncomfortable. But at the same time, I want to show her to the whole world, She's amazing, and she knows how much she means to me. Like I said, this year was super rough for me, and many times I could say that the worst things that have ever happened to me occurred this year, but it still ended up being maybe the best year of my life so far, and that's because she was in it. What this video is really about is how grateful I am for the good influences in my life, and she is definitely the best influence for me. I consider myself extremely lucky for that, and I've had some really other good influences too. Some of you know that I run a podcast with Underdone Toast. Go check out the Social Eclipse podcast on YouTube. But he's one of my oldest friends. I think he is my oldest friend, actually. We've been buds for more than 15 years now, I think. Maybe a little bit more than that. He's been there for me forever, man. Making sure I always had someone when I thought I had no one. Man, I was practically homeless at one point, and he and his wife were kind enough to take me in and help me get on my feet. Everyone needs friends like that. People who pick you up at your lowest. Let me tell you, I don't know where I'd be without good people in my life. Everyone needs them. I really do believe that. You can't really go it alone nowadays, and you gotta be willing to give first, Be that friend that you wish you had. That's where it really starts. You can't really expect it to just come to you. Sometimes it does, but mostly you just gotta take the time and effort to cultivate and be vulnerable and real enough to attract those kind of people. Real recognizes real, right? It's a hard fact of life that when you're at your lowest and you don't open yourself up and let people in, people won't come into your life. And that really sucks because you don't have the energy for it, especially when you're down low. So I'm really grateful I have that. I don't know if it was always a conscious effort for me to make good friends. Sometimes it was, but I think I naturally started putting standards on what kind of people I wanted in my life and went from there. Looking back, I just can't pretend I got where I am today by myself. And there were times when I wanted to lone wolf it for sure. but I've had some mentors and friends and family who bolstered me up, and I gotta give them their dues. I definitely gotta remember to give back too. So that's about it, man. Short video today. Sorry about my voice is kind of down, but I hope I'm not getting sick. I could talk about this topic for a long time, and I'm sure it'll come up again. Let me know what you guys are grateful for. I think it'd be a good practice to kind of share that around. There's something good about actually sharing it, I think, putting it out there for others to appreciate too. Anyway, enjoy your chicken or turkey. See ya.